Marguerite.
It was 1920, and it was just a very short time. But Marguerite's father was a teacher at the school in 1915, so she had some memories of him having taught at the school. So, well, for the camera, let me say this is August 14th, Tuesday, 2001, and I am here with Helen Edmonds, and we're going to talk about the Marshall Center School. And this is a little packet of information I wanted to give you. This is about our museums. There's a natural history museum and then the one-room schoolhouse. So there's some brochures and things you can look at later. Over on this side is a short paragraph talking about well, more than a paragraph, a short description of the project I'm working on, which is, it's called the ABC Project, Authenticity in Books and Costumes. And so what we're trying to do is give visitors to the Marshall Center School a truly accurate picture of what it really was like. And some schools some museums don't do very well at that. And we've restored it to circa 1920, 1922. And so we want to have information, good solid information about that era. And we've now created, or in the process of creating, costumes. And those are based on photographs we've seen from other Iowa rural schools. And so we know what children and teachers wore in that era. And so we're going to create those. And then what we wanted to do was come up with characters, hopefully based on real people, but to give some information, and they would talk about their experience. So we'll have children and adults wearing these outfits, but giving, we hope, a more accurate portrayal of life at the school.
I haven't been down there.
Oh, to the Marshall Center School. Oh, we would love it if you would come.
Oh, I'd love to
But
go.
come this fall, because we've got several different events, and some of the information that you all will give me this week, then I will be able to put into some of our programs. So it would be lovely if you could come. But, well, let's start off. Let me show you over here. Besides this, there are some photographs and maps I wanted you to see. This is our Natural History Museum, but this is the Marshall Center School as it looks now. And the next page, I think, has, yes, there's a photograph of what the inside looks like. Now, one of my questions to you is, what looks correct in there and what doesn't look correct for when you were there? And let me clarify on that. You went to the school from September of 1919 until 1927? Does that sound right
Well,
to you?
8 years.
8 years,
Yeah.
okay. So during that era, did the school look the way it does there? What would you change?
Well, it looks pretty much the same. This wasn't there.
Oh, there wasn't a dictionary stand.
No,
Okay.
not when I went there. And of course, there weren't lights like that.
Okay, the lights were not like that. Okay, we were told that they were. There's a photograph from 1910, and the lights look like that.
Well, they were along the side.
Yes, we do have them along the side,
But
but
I
you don't remember them in the front?
No, I don't.
Okay.
There wasn't, I don't remember a map ever hanging in front.
Okay.
But that could be put up when they wanted it, I suppose. It wouldn't have to be there.
Was there one of those globes that was on a weight, that like a pulley system? We were told that there had been one of those at one time, up by the teacher's desk. And she would have pulled on a cord and the globe would have come down.
Huh.
That doesn't sound familiar.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't remember these seats in the middle, but now since they're here, I think that's right.
Okay.
The small seats were over on this side.
Okay, they were over, if you were facing the teacher's desk, the smallest desks would be on the left. Okay.
And that was the smaller kids, you know,
Mhm.
kindergarten or
Mhm.
first grade.
Mhm.
And then as they got bigger, they went back here, so the larger kids sat back here.
Oh, okay. They were
Just-
then on the right side at the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the whole way, you know.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
just graduated in age of the kids, sort of.
Oh, from front
From
to
the
back
class.
or from left
Yeah.
to right?
On the, facing the teacher, the little ones were on the left side. and
Okay.
Went back because they got in the bigger grades
Okay.
and filled the middle too, and then went back over here.
Okay. Okay. What about the colors of the room?
Well, I can't remember any special color. It was just kind of a plain schoolhouse, just
Okay.
a plain.
Okay.
We used to hang our coats here along the side.
Mm-hmm. We do have pegs along there.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is this sign?
Oh, that's just a temporary thing. That shouldn't even be in there.
Okay.
That's something we put outside.
And is this piano?
I'm going to have to steal that from you for a second. No, you can ignore that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
What about in the second?
Oh, okay.
Some of these. Now that's looking, both of these are looking towards the back of the room.
Mhm.
Now, do you remember a telephone going in?
Well, I'm sure we had a telephone. I'm not exactly sure where it was.
Okay.
But there was a, is this supposed to be a library?
Yes, a little.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And that's about what?
So,
Mm-hmm.
was really in the middle of the schoolhouse, sort of, because the heat, it was sort of in the middle of the room.
Okay.
I think there were some seats here, and then the stove. These other seats went farther back. There weren't that many rows of seats, so I don't believe, are these supposed to be the same as this row? Could
Yes,
be.
we have 4 rows in there now.
Okay. And then this was the coal bin, the coal
Yes.
room.
Was that used for anything else that you
No.
recall? Just for the coal? Teacher didn't store anything in there?
Well, I don't think so.
I think it would be hard to with coal in there. You'd have coal dust all over everything. And was there a sandbox?
Yes, there was back
Okay.
here,
Okay.
all
That's-
along here.
Okay, so it was very long, huh?
Well, I thought so. And there
Okay.
was a water jug that sat here.
Okay, and that is the right place for the water jug.
Yeah, it's the right place. Seemed to me like it was over here, but there was a shelf where, this is pretty correct though.
Okay.
And the piano was not there.
Oh, okay.
It was up here.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember it ever being there.
Okay.
And I'm sure this was never decorated quite as pretty as it looks in here. But
Well, that's what I wondered. There was wallpaper. You know there was always wallpaper. But I was unsure of this decoration, this border wallpapering. You say that's too fancy.
I don't remember,
Okay.
but then it's a long time ago.
Now
Yes.
there were two doors. One was for boys and one was for girls at the front of the room.
Well, yeah, I think they,
Do you remember which was which?
oh yeah, the girls were on the left facing the front.
If you were sitting in the classroom, it would be on the left.
Right.
Okay.
I suppose the reason for that was so they could go out to the toilet on their
Oh,
side.
because
See,
the
there
girls was,
the girls was in the back of
Okay.
the lot,
okay,
and the boys was on this side.
okay.
So they just go out.
So if I was facing the lot, the boys would be over there. If I was outside on the road,
Oh,
facing
yeah.
the schoolhouse, boys would be over there and girls would be over there. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
facing the school. It faced. Yeah, the girls are on the right, facing the schoolhouse.
Okay. All right. Do you remember anything else outside? Were there trees?
Oh yes. There was one big one in the northeast corner of this lot. On the girls' side in the corner.
Okay. So it'd be very close to the girls' outhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And there was another one not so big in the southeast corner. I remember that one in the back because I remember there was one boy that climbed way, way up high in that tree one time in the winter
Ooh.
and jumped down into the snowbank.
Oh. What kind of tree was it?
Oh, I don't know, just a, could have been an elm or something.
Yeah. Did you have a swing in it or?
Oh, no,
No.
no, it was just a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. So there was a tree there and one in the southeast corner, but that was about it.
Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
There weren't any other outbuildings?
No.
No outbuildings. Okay.
This coal house, you know, was just a room built on the back of the schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And was it, well, I guess there wouldn't be, but I was going to say a track where the horse would go back there. Anything? No. Okay.
Well, this picture,
You probably remember some
Yeah.
people there,
I
huh?
must have given, this one I gave to you.
It
This
could
is one
be.
I would be trying to find.
Well, we have a copy of that photo.
I
We don't
probably-
have the original.
Well, the original was just a little thing.
Yes. And someone made a copy of that. And there should be a list. Oh, on the back of it has people's names. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
But
This is the boy that jumped down from the tree.
oh, he looks like a little urchin, doesn't he?
Yeah. This is my brother.
Okay. All right. Second from front row, second from the right. And which brother is that?
That would be Lowell.
Lowell. Okay.
because I didn't start school until after this was taken.
Mm. Do you remember the occasion, though, who the soldier was? I'm assuming this was right after World War I. Or
Well,
actually, it wouldn't have been. It would have been 1918.
That was the teacher.
Oh, that was the teacher.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, let me look here. Let's see. No, I don't have it back to 1918. Let me look on something else very quickly.
I started in 19, you say?
Yes, and that picture was taken the year before.
Well, I never went to school with him.
Well,
He was 8 years older than me, so therefore I...
yeah, most of the teachers only stayed for 1 year, it looks like. I wonder if that was Bushy. There was someone named Bushy. I don't know if I have. I think so. Man named Bushy taught part of the fall term, I believe. So that could be him. Because Goldie Kemp taught in the spring of that year.
How did you get all this information?
I went to the Arrowhead AEA, and they have records on microfilm going back. And so I copied a lot of it, and then I had my students try and organize it. And it took a while.
There's some kids on here that were in my grade, and I don't know.
There may be, oh, did you find there's the list of names there. I don't know if it, I honestly haven't looked at that to see if it says. Oh, it is. Harrison Bushy.
Oh.
Huh. And I'm assuming that was very typical dress for
Yeah.
wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like this girl had a very nice coat. It looked like she had fur around the collar. Was that kind of unusual? I guess that was Martha Halder.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I had a fur muff.
Oh. That would have been nice.
Yeah, it was big enough to put a book in it, you know. It was real warm.
Oh, that is nice. Huh. I'll give this back to you. And this is what do you know where this photo was taken? It was at the school, but
Yes, it was in the north. This would be facing north,
okay,
so it was in the northwest corner.
okay. Or maybe between the two outhouses somehow? No?
The boys' outhouse would have been over here.
Oh, okay.
It was beyond that even.
Oh, okay. So if this was the school and the boys' outhouse was in the corner, or was it more inset?
It was more inset and maybe not quite that far back.
Okay. Okay. Put little arrows there, and so this then, the photo would have been taken in that back corner.
Yeah.
Okay, good, that helps.
And this is the road that I had to travel each day to clear up to that grove and
Hmm.
back again.
Yes, I was going to ask you, there's a map there, and I wondered if you could point out, yes, there we go. This is the Marshall Center School,
Right?
okay. This is, well, where the Lindquists would have lived, and I believe maybe the Cundiffs lived there at that time?
Yes.
Is that right?
Kind of lived on this side.
They lived on on the
This
south
side
side
of
of
the
the
road.
road? Oh, okay.
And Tools lived on this side.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Tools were on the north, and was the Cundiff house just straight across the road then?
Well,
Sort of.
the Tool house was a little farther west.
Okay.
And then you turned the corner. And Resigis were in here.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think you had any Richardsons on there, did you?
No, that's not familiar.
And then,
Whose house would that have been? That wouldn't have been the Resigris or the Cundiffs, would it?
no, well, let's see. This is a mile, right?
Yes.
But it could have been. Tool here and kind of there. It could have been.
Okay, okay.
Probably is, yes.
Okay. Could Resigis be be further south
would be-
then? Maybe down there?
Well, yeah, that might be possible. There's two things there.
Oh yeah, there are.
There wasn't a Wannell on there, was there?
No, that's not familiar to me.
Or Richardson?
Let's see.
Richardson's.
Oh, there was a Bernice Richardson.
Okay. And one of these would be Resigui and one would be Richardson, but I don't know which
Okay,
is which.
that's all right.
Then there's a dot here.
Mm-hmm. Someone mentioned the name Rapone, Raponi. That doesn't ring a bell. That's certainly not, that's not a name that's on the list of children.
What to do with it? Yeah.
Here's,
Oh,
this is a list of some of the children. This would have been the fall of 1919 and the children in the class. Yes.
Well, Gabriel's live down here somewhere.
Did they?
And McCormick's, but I don't think there's a McCormick that went to school at that time.
No. Marguerite Farlow thought that might be the Gabriel house.
No,
No. Okay.
that was, I don't know. This would be Sloan's. No, yeah. Probably. Or Carol, or, it wouldn't either. Oh, were you talking about Burrish? It's Bunch, Elvira Bunch,
No. No.
but it's, that word is Bunch instead of Burrish.
Oh, the soldier's name was Bushy. His last name was Bushy, and I don't think he was local. But yes, I know there's
See,
the
Elvira?
bunches. Oh, yes, somebody's made a typo on that. Yeah.
It's Bunch.
Yes.
Well, I was looking for,
Now, where would your house have been then?
Loretta James. My house?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I noticed there's,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why there's two dots there. There's, nobody lives on that section except us. Are there Newells on here? I don't see any.
no.
They lived in this house here
Oh, okay.
when I went to school.
Okay. Newell?
Yeah. And also, what was it? I don't know. If there was another Toole family or not.
Do you remember who may have been in this house or this one? This one, any of those?
This was, Hanish.
Oh, yes.
Hanish's
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just a man, a bachelor that lived on the corner here.
Oh, okay.
And his name was Bunch. Albert Bunch. I don't know what this little road is that goes up to our place, because there's just, it's just that us on there. And around here was, maybe this is just designating that somebody lived there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be. It says RES or something.
Mm-hmm. Resident, I think, residence. This is a map from 1901. So it's always possible that maybe the house didn't survive, people moved out. It's hard to say. Sometimes that would happen.
Well, I know this says David George.
Mm-hmm.
And at one time, maybe there were some Georges that lived there, but I don't see them on here.
No, since this is a much earlier map, I'm sure the land had changed hands by then. Did most of the people own their land? Most of the farmers,
Yeah.
you know, they weren't renting or farming for someone else.
No, I think they owned it.
Now, when you went to school, did you walk by the road or did you cut
Oh,
across?
no, I walked the road. Alders lived over here. Somewhere.
Okay.
Probably here.
Okay.
And Bunches too. One of these two places. I think Alders was first and then Bunches, I see. I probably told you wrong.
That's all right. Okay. So Halter's first and Bunch second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Now you had a lot of siblings, but they were much older than you.
Yeah.
Because there was, well, and I'm not even sure I've got them right. Marie, Carl, Mabel, Lowell,
Esther
and then Esther.
and Arthur.
Oh, Arthur. Now, who was the oldest?
Arthur.
Arthur was the oldest? Okay. And then Esther,
Right.
Marie, Carl, Mabel, Lowell, and then you,
Yeah.
the baby. I'm the baby of the family too.
They were all 2 years apart, kind of,
Mhm.
except for me. I was 8 years later.
Oh, okay. Now Marie was your teacher.
First
When you,
grade teacher.
how was she as a teacher?
Well, good.
Would you dare say anything else?
Well, one day I didn't think she was very good.
Did she reprimand you?
Well, yeah, sort of. Not me, but you want me to tell you?
Oh, well, sure. It's safe.
She made the kids all stay in because of something somebody had done.
Oh.
And I never liked to be blamed for anything that, or I still to this day, I hate to see somebody get blamed for something that they didn't do. So I walked up to the front and kicked her. And went back and sat down, and I felt all right because,
But nobody would confess who had done it. Is that what she was
Yeah.
waiting for someone to?
I don't know what she's waiting for, but she made us all stay in.
Oh.
And I didn't think that was right. It wasn't, was
No, I don't think so. Oh. Well, you got a new teacher the next year, though.
it?
You
Ethel
had-
Erskine.
No?
Yes.
Ethel was your last year. Alice Garton was your second year.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Because we have her down as having taught in 1920.
Do you have Ethel Erskine down?
She was your very last year, 1926-27.
No, that's not right.
Before that was Bertha Schlensig.
Yes.
Before that, and she taught you for 2 years. And then James McFadden, Florence McCartan, Irene Asbaugh. They taught in the same year, I believe. Yes, they taught the same year. And then Alice Garton the year before that. It doesn't sound familiar. That's what the records say.
I don't remember too many of those names, but
But you remember Ethel
yeah.
Erskine. Do you remember Bertha? Because she,
She's my sister-in-law now.
oh, she is. Oh,
She's Arthur's wife.
okay, okay.
I mean, she's gone too, but
Oh, well, that was interesting. There were a lot of family connections there. Do you remember what she was like as a teacher?
oh, she is a good teacher.
Was she good?
But I thought she was my 8th grade teacher. I'm sure she was there when I graduated. I think.
No, we had, the records show Ethel Erskine teaching just in 1926-27.
Two years.
Which was unusual at that time.
That would have been my 7th and 8th grade.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 5th and 6th years. Well, that doesn't, then we must be missing a year here. Yes, we have you for 7 years. So maybe Ethel taught you for the 7th and the 8th year. Maybe that's what it is.
I was just sure my Bertha was my teacher.
I will check the records. In fact, let me see if these are kind of hard to read, but let me see if I can find. I may not have all the years here, so I won't be able to tell you definitively. No, I don't. The records I've got here just go to 1926. So I will check that.
I looked for my 8th grade diploma yesterday, but I couldn't find it. I thought I knew just where it was, and it wasn't there.
Oh, shoot. Well, I will check and see if it's, and Schlensig is how she pronounced your name?
Slency.
Okay. And I will check on that. Okay.
Well, I was just sure that with Ethel Erskine, that was my 2nd grade teacher. The reason I remember 2nd grade so well is because I practically got kidnapped.
How's that?
Oh, horrible. This guy drove up to the schoolhouse and asked if there was any kids going north. And the little kids were already out, so she sent me. And he had a horse, 2 horses and a wagon with a tarp over it. So I got up on the seat and started off with him. We got right outside of the schoolyard going north. And he got he started raising up my dress and asking me what color pants I had on.
Oh my.
I didn't know there were people around like that.
No, that had to have been a shock.
And I screamed, just screamed as hard as I could. And I think he got scared and thought that the kids would hear me.
Oh.
So he said, well, get down then. And I just climbed down those wheel of that wagon as fast as I could.
I bet. Oh my goodness.
And that's why I thought she was my teacher.
Oh,
But
that must have been terrible.
that-
And you
that's-
didn't know who he was.
Oh, heavens no.
I was surprised she put you on a wagon with someone you
Well,
didn't
so
know.
am I. I've been kind of disgusted at Ethel Erskine ever since. That's who I thought it was. But maybe I was so little, I might have been mistaken on the name, but I
But
would
you
sure
thought
like
that
to
was-
know.
You thought that was second grade?
Yes,
That's
I
when
know
that
it was
happened?
second grade.
Okay.
Hate to have that on the tape.
No, that's all right. We won't tell that story. Well, do you remember, were most of the children in your class ones that were pretty much settled families that had been there for quite some
Oh,
time?
yeah.
None of them were new immigrants or people who had just moved into the community.
No.
Okay. I know that there were some communities in this area that, perhaps not in the school, but at home still spoke German or Danish or Swedish. Do you remember that? Did your family do that?
They could speak Swedish, but
Who? I'm sorry.
my folks,
Oh,
they were from Sweden,
Oh, okay.
but they didn't do it.
Okay.
I mean,
So they didn't teach you all
No.
to speak? Okay.
I'm sure we got a little of it
Yeah.
rubbed off here and there,
And you don't remember any of the other children speaking
but no.
no foreign language? Okay. Sometimes you hear of communities that didn't become Americanized right away. So I didn't know. I know that Albert City was much more Swedish,
Yeah.
and so I was kind of curious. Did you always just walk to school? Do you remember? Did you ever ride a horse, or did someone take you in a wagon?
My brother, the one that's on this picture,
Oh,
that was 8 years older than I,
okay.
he used to take me to school on a horse sometimes.
Was that a treat?
Well, it was okay. It was, I remember it better, being better galloping than trotting.
Yeah. Huh. Smoother, was it?
He wasn't too old to be doing that either, was he?
No.
And sometimes I got a ride with the Alder family. They had a little, I don't know, little covered cart or wagon, just a small little deal with
Okay.
a couple horses and it was enclosed,
Oh.
so it was like a little bus.
Oh.
And
I think I know the type that you mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a
Oh.
lot of protection from the wind and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But then I had to get out at the corner and walk a 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, you had a good long walk, didn't you? Did you ever miss any school because of bad weather? Do you remember that?
I can't remember any. I suppose we did, but I mean, it's not. I'm I'm sure we probably missed sometimes, but
Did you ever get trapped in the school because of bad weather?
get trapped there?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I went to a women's school and I can't remember being trapped either. I remember having to walk through some pretty deep snow to get to a vehicle.
When I walked home, I remember on this half mile, it was, well, none of the roads were very fancy, then.
Mm-hmm.
But mine was more of a, well, it was a road, but it was just nothing, mud sometimes and stuff like that. Well, anyway, right along this, the Bunches Grove, we called it, that was on the corner,
Mm-hmm.
there'd be gypsies
Oh.
parked, and I had to walk by them,
Huh.
and that was a little scary for a little kid.
Were there gypsy camps there often?
Well, several times I remember during the school years.
Hmm. So you never met any of the kids, though? They kept pretty much to themselves.
Well, yeah, but I would walk as close to the fence as I could and watched.
Oh, I was going to ask you, I'm afraid I'm going back here, but to the schoolroom, were there curtains hanging in the Marshall School when you went?
I don't believe there were.
Okay. Because we have a photo that's from 1910, and there are very Victorian-looking lace curtains on there.
I think there were.
But earlier, perhaps, but not when you
I
went.
can't remember there were.
Okay.
But do you have a picture of the schoolroom with kids sitting at the desks?
Oh, yes, that's one from 1910, but we do have that. It shows some very fancy, kind of darkish wallpaper. Yeah. We've got a copy of that photo. We don't have the original.
No. I'm sure you probably got it from me.
Probably. So.
Anyway, my brothers and sisters are all on there.
Oh,
I think.
okay. Well, that would make sense, yes. Okay.
Almost. I don't know if Art's on there or not.
I'll have to check and see.
He might have been through by then.
Yeah. I'll have to see if we have names on that photograph, because we may not. If we don't, I might send you a copy of it, or if you can let us know
Okay.
who's who in that. I remember in that photo, the children are dressed up and they're in their, picture-taking clothes.
Are they?
Yes, because there are some nice hair bows and
Oh, yeah.
cute little dresses and that.
Yeah, they used to wear hair
Yeah.
bows.
Did you put on the walls, I think in that photo, there looked to be, maybe drawings that the children had done, or sketches or something they almost look like they're pinned up on the wall. Did the teacher do that? Did she put up your artwork on the walls? That doesn't sound familiar. Okay.
I don't think so.
That may have just been that particular teacher. So, do you remember about, was the schoolroom quiet when the teacher was teaching? Or do you remember the kind of the rhythm to the day, how she would teach?
Well, we'd all get class would be, I suppose she took the little ones first, I don't remember. She'd have to almost, and we'd all go up and sit on this bench.
Okay. So there, now was it a very simple, just like bench, or was there a back to it? Or?
There was a back,
Okay,
quite a bit like that.
okay.
And the rest of the kids were supposed to be quiet when the class was going on, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Did she say rise and pass? Some teachers used to use that expression. Does that sound familiar? Or did she just kind of signal to you to come up to the front of the room?
Well, she just didn't signal. I'm sure she told us,
Okay.
but I don't remember. She probably said that. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Or else she'd say like first grade reading or something like that.
Okay. Did you enjoy recitation?
Did I?
Enjoy recitation and
Oh yeah,
Talking.
I was. I liked school.
what was your favorite subject? Do you remember? Did you have a favorite?
Probably spelling, arithmetic. Never cared too much for history.
Just kind of dusty and boring, or just didn't have an interest in it, huh?
I don't know, I guess not.
Huh.
I could read a whole page, you know, and if somebody said something, I'd lose my thought and have to start over.
Oh, shoot. Did you practice penmanship a lot?
Well, I was thinking about that the other day. I can remember practicing penmanship, you know, the circles and then up and down,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't have a class like that, I don't believe.
But not formal lessons. It might be part of another lesson, perhaps.
I just don't remember that.
Oh, okay. Was there a chart at the front of the room? You know, like they used to make, they would come in a long strip and would have that wonderful script on it of the Palmer method. And many times they'd put that at the top of the blackboard. Do you remember seeing
No, I
anything
don't.
like that
I
in the
don't.
room? Okay. That was there when I was in school, and that's why I wondered how early those were put there.
I don't know, I don't remember that.
Okay.
Lots of times we had to go up to the board, you know, and
Mm-hmm. There were three, there still are, three blackboards in that room. One was behind the teacher, and then two on the sides. When you did your lessons, or she asked you to do an exercise, would you do them on the side or up in the front?
all I can remember is up in the front.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did the picture show? Did you got?
No, we don't have any pictures that show anything like that. So we're not sure how those blackboards were used.
I can't remember any except the front one, but there may have been. I would have had this map probably hanging down over here somewhere.
Okay. Did you work, when you did, any kind of lesson or that penmanship, would you use paper and pencil, or did you have individual little slates?
Oh, no, paper and pencil.
Paper and pencil. Okay. And did you use pencil most of the time, or did you ever use pen and ink, or was that for the older students?
Well, I don't. Maybe by the time you were in the 8th grade you did. I don't remember. It seems like we had ink in a bottle, but I don't.
Okay.
I
you came with your own school supplies and that? Was it like a pad of paper that you had? Like,
tablet.
it was like a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With the Indian chief on the front, or?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Where did you get your textbooks? Did the family buy those?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the drugstore carried that kind of stuff.
And that was here in Lorenz.
Right.
Okay. Remember what their name was? Was it Hake? No. I remember seeing the name Hake.
Oh, no,
Yes,
it's a. Oh, dear. I should remember that.
Well, I should have noticed when I was looking at the newspaper this morning, but well, I'll take a look at that tomorrow and see if I can. See if I can figure out what the name of the drugstore was.
Well, maybe I'll think of it.
Okay. Now you talked about walking to school. Did you bring your own lunch pail
Yes.
with you? Did you have a special lunch pail or a syrup can? Or?
Some of the kids had syrup pails.
Okay.
Some of them had lunch pails.
Okay.
We also had hot lunches.
Oh. Well, that would have been nice.
The families were divided and signed up for certain days to bring hot lunch.
Oh.
So one family would bring enough for all the kids.
Oh.
And we put it on top of that stove in the middle of the room to keep it hot. We each had our own cup,
Mm-hmm.
and we had soup most of the time.
Ah. So soup was a very common thing to
Right.
have.
Mhm.
Would you have bread with that, like a homemade bread, or?
All I can remember is soup.
Soup, okay. Now, was this all the time, or just part of the year, or? In the winter, that would be hard, perhaps, to,
Well, yeah, but that's when you want it.
oh, yeah, of course. So,
I think it was probably year round.
okay.
That was a job, though.
Oh, it sure must have been. So all the families were required to do this, and
They'd take turns.
they all take turns.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
course, some families had 3 or 4 kids, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this didn't start. When I was a first grader. I don't know when it started.
Okay.
Maybe it did. I thought I remembered stuff, but
Now, when you brought your lunch pails, if you brought lunch pails, where did you put them?
under where we were in the winter, like where we hung our coats and
Mm-hmm.
Overshoes and stuff, our lunch pails go right there.
Okay. All right. Did they get cold, or did you put them on the stove to warm things back up
No,
before lunch? No. Okay.
because it'd just be sandwiches and apple or banana or something,
Okay.
cookies.
Do you have a favorite kind of sandwich?
No,
Did they make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches then?
no, I don't remember that.
Okay. That is not